most experts or gurus or, whatever you want to call them, social media influencers, online educators, they're not going to give you this tea. That's what I'm here to do today. This is exclusive to the Become the Bank Challenge private group. All right, so this is between me and the seller, the husband. There's 6 adults in the house. You'll hear it. Let's go.
Hello, Mr. Thompson.
Hey,
It's Gene. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing magnificent. You sound a whole lot lighter this time when I hear your voice.
Things are going good again. I'm back on the road making money.
Okay.
Okay. And I was talking to
Can y'all hear it?
Jerry
Type in the
morning,
comments if you can hear it.
and he's supposed to be getting me some more information about what's going on with that place out in Granbury.
We should be getting that all taken care of tomorrow after we get these papers authorized. We're going to get that lease taken care of and first month's rent deposit, and I think first and last month's rent. So apparently it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me. The problem is I'm not going to be able to get back home till the 25th of October.
Till the 25th of October? Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, your family's gonna need somewhere to go, and they're gonna have to do something without you now. There, Cliff, every once in a while.
Well, they don't have a way to do that.
Come on, Cliff. Now, So, last time we talked, I just want to make sure we got all of this. Last time we talked, Cliff, you were feeling pretty hopeless, if I remember right.
Yeah, because we were supposed to get it done while I was home last time. That's why I was home for 2 weeks. And so 3 weeks behind on pay. It's going to take 3 weeks to recover from being home that long.
You make me feel like me and my team didn't just get an impossible job done for you and your family, and that we're slacking. That's kind of how I feel right now.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I was just going off of what I can't even say her name right.
Oh, Bianca?
Yeah, Shafta. I never get her name right because she said we were supposed to get this wrapped up back on the 5th. That's why I came home like I did.
That was before I knew that there were 6 adults in the house and only one of you have a job. And then there's about 6 pets, making it virtually impossible to find a house in Dallas unless you pretty much are buying that thing outright.
Yeah.
So there were some hiccups along the way. A lot of application fees paid, and me and my team taking over and just making sure we did our thing and zeroed this thing in and got you guys a house. I feel like we worked really, really hard on this and got a nearly impossible thing done for you.
Y'all busted your butts on it, and I appreciate that. Now, okay, so
let me just ask you real quick, because I had thought, and
okay, y'all. Okay, so I had to stop it. I had to stop it there only because of what just happened there. All right, so put in the comments if you feel like you could just put a yes or a no if you feel like you can talk to a prospect that confidently at this point. Because what I did there, and this is the house, so this is inside the house right here. If you look in the background of this, you actually see Selena back there. Look, it was Keely who took the picture. Look at Selena right there. I mean, we actually do this. Now, what I love about this house is this. Look at this. Boop. Look at this little balcony of sorts, you would call it. I want you guys to understand this. We actually helped these people tremendously. I mean, tremendously helped them. And because without us guys, they would have been in a situation where they wouldn't have been able to find a house and get approved. Right now, look, this is what my pool looks like now. Oh my gosh, my poor saltwater pool. Look at that. They just tore it out. They got 6 adults living there. Only one of them has a job, and he's a truck driver. So people, guys, will forget about what you have done for them. as soon as you get that job done and the weight of the world is off of their shoulders, if it's a foreclosure and you don't have the proper documentation signed that is making certain that you're in a good position and that you're protected. Because if you're not protected, guess what? They don't care about you. They like, man, what is you saying? So that said, we did. And so what I had to do was I had to use some negotiating tactics, because we're still in negotiation, because I've got to keep them. This is a controlled situation. It's got to be controlled. And I'm talking about down to, almost a minute detail, only because if we leave it up to the prospect, you see how ungrateful he was. And I really had to say that to him, because we went out and found the place, talked to the property owner, paid the application fee, filled out the damn application even. We got the information from them and filled that stuff out now. So that's putting in work to get this house literally pretty much, it's going to be for free. My money that I got out on this isn't going to be gone for too long. So just understand that power statement that I gave you guys Tuesday, that is the beginning of you building up your gravitas, because and I'm going to go over some stuff Friday with you guys to help you with this, but that's the beginning of you building up your gravitas. And you absolutely unequivocally need gravitas with these people if you're going to be buying the house while leaving the mortgage in their name. We have the deed to that. It was done yesterday.
My apologies, Cliff. I had talked to my team prior to a little bit, all of this. They said that you had contacted some attorneys in Texas and California to try to get some help with this. That's all right.
That was like a month before I started talking to you guys.
What did they tell you when you called them? I'm curious.
One wanted to charge me $4,000.
Just real quick, because I don't have a lot of time. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what is called a calibrated question. I knew the answer to that. I didn't know exact number of how much, but I knew they tried to charge him money. Control it, control the conversation, and you got it if you establish enough rapport.
And he still couldn't guarantee anything would happen, but he would that he would save the house.
Right.
That was like a month before I started talking to you guys.
What did they tell you when you called them? I'm curious.
One wanted to charge me $4,000. And he still couldn't guarantee anything would happen, but he would that he would save the house, we'd stay in the house. But I'm not gonna spend $4,000 on something that ain't gonna work out. You know what I mean?
More of a chance of it not working out. Then. So what was it? Did you only talk to the one attorney, or?
Well, I had talked to another one there in Dallas, and he wanted to charge $5,000, and I told him no.
Whoa, $5,000, huh?
Yeah, I was like, no, that's.
Wow.
I said, dude, if I had $5,000 laying around, I wouldn't be in this boat.
Exactly. That is insanity. So real quick then, what was that one that was charging $5,000? What was he saying he was going to do?
Basically the same thing that the one out of LA said he was going to try and do.
Like maybe not you, but you can stay there for a few more months, maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, so let me ask you this: when do you look at it at like last time to be out of the house?
Well, we've got this set up with the.
Now listen, guys, we've got to be very keen observers. That will win you the day. Did you see how unappreciative he was, man, for what we did? Because we paid for that move-in too. Not only did we find it, negotiate it, and guess what, guys? His family's going to be moving stuff in, and he's not going to get back. If they get moved in, he said he's staying on the road until December. Guess what? We even negotiated that. We pay the full price for what they want to move in, deposit, first month's rent, last month's rent. We even negotiated on the next month, their first month that they have to pay rent, a $300 discount. Anyway,
with that house that we got rented for you to move in the 1st of October.
Okay, let's see.
I'm still under the urgent. We're moving very urgently here, only because of the timeline, because we've got to still, do our thing. I mean, we're a business now, and I asked you about those attorneys only because they were charging you $4,000 and $5,000 up front. And then it seems, Cliff, and I could be wrong about this, but me and my team came in kind of like some superheroes.
Y'all did.
Oh.
So let me
Talk that talk, man.
Right now, I'm sitting out here in Nevada. I'm actually going into Oakland tomorrow to deliver this load.
I told y'all I like to talk jazzy every now and again, but it was the truth. That was the actual truth. We showed up like some superheroes. Now, the most difficult for us was we have to understand, this is why we talk so much about mindset, and the challenge is so important if you plan on becoming, fully ingratiated in the community, a part of the community, and continuing your education, understanding that we do this at a high level, right? And we all generally, we just don't know what we don't know. If we do a deal with you, because we'll coach you through it, but if we gotta carry all the weight on our shoulders, we're gonna do a joint venture, and you guys will be our boots on the ground, and you'll get that learning experience too throughout, plus 50% of the deal after the cost of acquisitions, whatever that is, but what made this difficult is our communications with Selena and Keely weren't the greatest, from the beginning. And I mean, we'll take partial responsibility for that. I mean, everybody's got a role in the situation, right? But the way I operate anyway is we fix a problem. If there's a problem or we need to make an adjustment, we make it, and then we're moving. Boom, because we got to keep this thing. This is a controlled environment. And if it goes down, certain paths, and see, having experience in this, I can see the path that it's going down with certain things happening. Whether it's the client asking for money, and then, Selena kept insisting that we give them money. I didn't give them no money, y'all, until yesterday. Now, Selena was insisting that a little while back, and I'm like, hold on, we got to sew this up, right? So communication is critical so that we can keep this controlled environment, because you want to make this as smooth as possible. Don't give yourself any hurdles. I mean, just think about this real quick, and then I'm gone. We're literally pretty much going to be paid to own an investment property, and we didn't have to go qualify for that debt. We didn't have to fill out credit applications, debt to income ratios, W-2s, proof of income, and all that. We did appraisers, inspectors. We didn't have to do that. Okay, so what we had to do instead, we don't just get them that way just for nothing. There is something you got to give, man. So we had to provide that service of finding them the house and getting them approved and paid for the damn applications and all of that. Okay, so all of that said, you want to keep it as smooth as possible, because this is our revenue, this is our money. All right,
try and get a hold of my DM and see if he can possibly have me back to the house by the 1st.
Okay.
Because I can tell you right now that she is not going to be happy moving without me being there.
Well, shit. Now, this is the thing, Cliff. If I were you, and this is just me, maybe this is why I'm single and you're not, but yeah. I'd remind her that so there's that part. I want to say that, preface it with that. But I mean, it's a little bit better than not having a place to go, and the sheriff's coming and saying, hey, y'all got to move out.
Yeah. All right.
So this is the thing. This is the thing for me. So if we're looking at it like this, where you are out on the road, so I mean, you got your loads, and I know that whoever you're contracting with, they have their thing logistically set up with you on the calendar. So I'll talk to Jerry today and check in with that, and if we have to get it on the 1st of October, I mean, you're out there, working. You got to start paying rent sometime now, Cliff. You ain't been paying a mortgage payment in quite some time. So
yeah, I know.
This is the thing. We got to secure that house, Cliff. Now, you see how hard this was. We found a needle in a haystack here, and I don't want to push our luck.
I know.
Just being honest.
So I said that though to say this, Cliff. If you come back, maybe October, 10th or 14th or 15th, you still got that month, so you guys can get straightened out. So if you got Jessica or your wife packing and having things ready, by the time you get back, even if it's a little earlier than the 25th, but a little later than the 1st, you still got the rest of that month, to live there until you got to pay rent again on the next 1st of the month, And I mean, the way I look at it is the situation that we were in versus, this scenario, hell, I would take that any day of the week now, Cliff, because last time I talked to you now, we had a different conversation.
Yeah.
Remember that, right? You thought it was doomsday, and I told you that me and my team were on it. We were going to do our thing, and this is what we do. So I want you to remember how close we were, And you know, we've got to have gratitude for that, just with the universe and the God. Okay, Cliff, I'm back with you. So I said that to say, you know, we've got to kind of figure out how we can work this a little bit where we're working with each other. Now, I know you're willing to work with me. You willing to work with me, Cliff?
Yeah.
Take that down.
The reason, because right now the bank account's in the negative because all the bills that came up, and I was home for, you know, and not pulling anything in.
Yeah.
We gotta we gotta be able to put down for deposits to get water and electricity turned on. Got to have money to get a storage unit because not all of our furniture is going to fit. We got to have money to rent the moving truck, and it's going to be at least 2 more weeks before I have that kind of money.
Okay, which is understandable. So this is what we need to be planning for right now, then, right? So like with the driving that and the working that you're doing, that we're planning for a couple more weeks, because today's the 25th, so we've got 1 week until October 1st anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then if it's 2 more weeks to get paid, that put us at October 7th, October 8th type of, you know, situation timeline. You can get that stuff set up then. We want to be prepared, you know, for that event to come. So you're going to know how much the deposits are, what you need to hook it up. So that way we got the money to do that. I've got to see what the total is with getting you guys, you know, moved into that new house. There may be some money left over. I don't know that yet because I haven't looked at the total. I know we're 6,000 and some change. I know for sure. So
yeah. Well, I'm looking at right now because let's see, got last week's truck payment, this week's truck payment. That one's covered. Half of this one doesn't be covered. It'll be probably the 12th or the 13th before I actually get money in.
Cliff. Okay. Well, that's what we got to plan to move then at that time, because you'll have the place until November 1st, but you got to be able to pay your rent on November 1st now, Cliff. This is what I'm saying, Cliff. I'm doing a lot of extra here. You know, I usually don't take it this far with people, but I want you guys to be all right. I don't want you to end up in a similar situation, man, because it's a lot of weight on our shoulders. Do you remember how you were just feeling last week, Cliff?
Yeah.
It seemed like, you know, you didn't see a way out at that time. This is what I'm going to do, Cliff. I'm going to have my team do some research and see.
Now, hold on a second. Just hold on. Whew. That was a pain question. It was a pain. See, in negotiating is something that happens, is happening all the time. And so at that point, it was a question, but it was in statement form. So there's just a little inflection at the end of the statement that made it come across as a question. That's high level. But I brought that pain up. Did you hear how he said, I said, it seemed like you didn't see a way out last week. He didn't. It was rough on him. I know he was going through it, but I told him we got it. I flew to St. Lucia and some more stuff, and I sicked the dogs on him. Trenches in the foxhole. So this is very controlled here. All right.
See if there's any like rental assistance programs in Dallas and what that entails. Because I know there are some in some other places that we're in, you know, that will be able to assist with some rent so you can get back on your feet. Thank you. Because if it doesn't, you know, if it turns out like it did with this house, it will, Cliff, now be virtually impossible to find another place to live. So
yeah, I know.
We gotta make some changes, man. You know what I mean? So who can work at the house? Let's start there.
Who can? Everybody can.
Yeah, really? Well, what the hell's the problem? And excuse my French, but
oh, I've asked the same question. Christian and Stetson, they're still basically trying to finish school. Heather actually can't work with the way her disability is.
So who's Barron? Is that one of your kids? How many of your kids live with you?
Just 2.
Okay.
Barron is my wife's brother. He's my brother-in-law.
He's got to go get a part-time job or something. Does he have a car?
No, he's driving mine.
What the hell, Cliff?
I know. I'm too much of a damn nice guy.
Yep, I get it. It sounds like you're taking a lot on your shoulders.
More than I fucking should.
Okay, y'all. So that's this. I got to stop us here on part 1. This is part 1. I'll do the rest of part 2 tomorrow. We're about halfway through the call now. So this thing was intense. I love it. So the fact that you guys are getting to hear that, and then I'm breaking down what we're doing, because that is all training and intentional. That whole thing on my end, all of it, you're hearing, man, the real life, what we do. Because listen, with the way that we buy and then the way that we hold while we sell and sell while we hold, one house over the life of that house, you can gross over $1 million. And that's just real talk. Again, I went over the 3 houses every 3 months for that first year. Over a 9-month period, you give yourself the 3 months for the learning curve, man. And it's really off to the races. You can and will change your entire life.